This is a story I've been terrified to talk to you guys about. Maybe not terrified, but embarrassed. This story has a lot of ups and downs, has some crazy times, and a lot of things that happened to me that, to be fair, were soul crushing, ego destroying. I went through quite a bit. And the story ended up being very long. I'm looking at the script here in front of me. It has to be 7 pages, and it's in my own form of shorthand. So I decided, instead of just making this part 3, I'm gonna break this into part 3 and part 4. So this is gonna be a 2-for-1. I don't know when I'm coming out the second one. This video right here is already gonna be quite a bit of editing for me, but you guys will be expecting that probably in the next couple weeks. But you're here now. So what happened leading up to the last video? Two of my best friends ended up dying. One of an overdose, the other one in a car crash within a week of each other. And this absolutely obliterated me. I was depressed, I was crying a lot, and I needed to change. So I broke up with the girl I was dating at the time. She wanted me to slow down, get a normal job. I didn't want to do that shit. And I was not acting like the man that I wanted to ultimately be. I was slowing down. I wasn't getting myself out there. So by the time I break up with this girl, I was a mess. Friends dying, going through a breakup with this girl that I really cared about, her crying in my arms, begging me not to break up with her. It was pretty traumatic. It's pretty emotional. I was very depressed and I hated myself for a while. It took me a bit to overcome this self-hatred. Now, the story that follows is the most up and down, wild roller coaster of a story I think I could possibly tell. And to be fair, the only people that I have to corroborate this are the people that are in the story. I asked some of them to make sure that the points lined up. They said, yeah, that's pretty much how it happened. So I also try to figure out when things happen so I can tell this in chronological order, make sure that I'm keeping all my stories straight. And also that I'm not, for any reason, fully blaming anybody else in certain situations, but also understanding that I fucked up and it was my fault. And that's something that actually made it hard for me to make this video. I'm very embarrassed about the man I was at this time. I was very embarrassed about the things I did, knowing now that I would definitely do them differently and do them in a lot more empathetic, caring way, a lot more in a way of a man, somebody that's supposed to be looked up to in the dating industry, somebody that people respect. I should never allow myself to get in situations like I did over the past 4 years. So let me give you some spoilers. What happened in the past 4.5 years? I went from being broken to evolving and overcoming, had a lot of wins, a lot of losses, and became somebody different for it. I got scouted for MTV, got in a brawl with Logan Paul and Big Mike. Yes, those guys. To coaching Nate and Nick Diaz how to pick up girls. And to be fair, being a bit of a slut in the process. Some stories that I would never want my mother to hear about. So with that being said, let's get into it. Fuck me, damn. All right, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This video has taken me so many times to shoot because I'm so fucking embarrassed about the old version of me. The person that I used to be and the shit that I went through. Some of these parts, like, really fucking honestly are gonna blow your guys' minds. I think that you guys are gonna think these are cool. But there's parts in here where I'm so embarrassed about the dumb shit that I did, or the ways that the old version of me acted, or the choices I decided to make. I feel very embarrassed about it. So I've shot this video time and time again. I got the fucking camera over here if you guys can see that shit. I was trying to get the lighting set up, and I'm setting the lighting up, and I realized, look, you've been procrastinating on this. What do you tell your clients? Smallest integer of action, correct? Okay, cool. What's the small integer of action than setting up the lighting and shit like that and getting all this shit ready? Just shoot it on your fucking laptop. I put like a ring light over here, got my lamp right here to light me up, and I realized that'd be a lot faster, be less steps. So the first part of this video is just gonna be filmed on my laptop. I knew that I just need to take the smallest integer of action. If I have a client in a club and he can't approach, what do? I tell him, give a passing compliment, make a friend. Don't overcomplicate this. Take the smallest integer of action. That small integer of action will allow you to take the rest of the steps. So here, I'm gonna shoot the first part like this. I'm gonna add a lot of B-rolls too to explain the story. So I'm gonna tell you guys different stories. I got videos for it too, to also as proof and receipts and whatnot. Fuck. Where do I begin? So 6 months, my game was trash. I hadn't been gaming up to that point. I was falling apart. I was sad, crying every day. I also had got my first intern actually. And my intern, man, I kept telling him that I just need to sleep. I just need to be by myself every so often. But really, I was hiding in my room, locked the door, be crying and sleeping a lot. It was a tough time for me. This guy honestly probably thought I was a bitch. This guy too knowing him, he probably thought I was a bitch. Well, here's the good news too, though. I was dating some very beautiful women. I dated a stripper. For a while. Beautiful girl, nuts as fuck though. Actually, my intern, he brought some money out to for the trip. He brought a bunch of cash out to stay with me for a few months, and he ended up hiding it in the room the spare bedroom I gave him, because he was afraid of the girl that I brought over stealing it. Which, in retrospect, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, makes sense, bro. If you ever watch this video, it makes absolute sense. That bitch was nuts, super sexy, very attractive, very cool, really fucking nuts, very bipolar. Definitely not worth dating. Never would I ever date her again. Then I came back around to this redhead girl that I used to mess around with. She's a little older than me, and we just kind of mess around every so often. She's a good friend of mine. Well, she hits me up one day. She calls me, goes, blah, 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 we're having this conversation. She goes, well, actually, I'm going to an orgy right now. And I'm like, really? And she goes, yeah. And I'm like, thinking like I'm a tough shit. I'm like, this guy who's had sex with hundreds of girls and whatnot, thinking I'm tough. And like, I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm so open with sex and whatnot. I couldn't give two fucks. No, it was creepy as fuck, actually. To be fair, never would I ever do another orgy again. Never would I ever date a stripper again. Never would I ever go to orgy again. These things, they're so creepy. The guys who do these orgy things. So we went to this party, and there was me and then my beautiful redhead girl I brought with me. Then there were two other very attractive couples, and then two kind of okay couples, and the rest were old. Well, the two attractive couples try hitting on the girl that I brought, because she was by far the prettiest girl there. And when she realizes that I was a part of the deal, they leave, making me feel like a third wheel. Thank you, guys. Well, everybody starts going upstairs, and I hadn't seen this girl in a while, so I start messing with her in the pool. Well, they keep coming back downstairs time and time again, because, are you guys coming back up? When are you guys going to come up? When are you guys going to come up? And it's like the creepy old guys keep asking this shit. And by the time I get up there, I'm so in my head. I'm like, this is disgusting, gross. I didn't like the fucking taking nature, everybody, because I'm not built that way. And the girl I brought could tell I was uncomfortable and knew that she was more in that scene. And so she turns to me, looks at me, sees I'm uncomfortable. So we grab some guy's wife, take her to the other room. But by that point, I was already so in my head. I wasn't in it. I wasn't about it. And eventually we just ended up leaving. I was like, never would ever again. Fucking weird as all hell. I thought I was a cocky bastard. I thought I was the shit. Man, orgies are weird. Some guys can handle it. I got some boys. Actually, Poland is pretty good, though, but I'll tell you about that guy in a second. Poland, actually, I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the past. Poland was the guy that actually helped me out with my trip to go work with Julian. That's Poland. He's my longtime friend. He's a gangster. I'll tell you about some wild stories about him in about 5 seconds, actually. During this time period, too, I started dating this very famous OnlyFans model. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. That's all she had going for her. Very pretty. But everything else she had going for her was shit-ass personality. Made a fuck ton of money doing this stuff. Cool fucking her. But really, honestly, even though she's beautiful, not my type. Did a lot of plastic surgery. She was such a bitch. She was a bitch, so she threw a party where she had some bouncers there, and she's a dickhead to the bouncers. When I take her to sushi, she was a dickhead to the waiters. And at some point, I was just like, I'm done with this. She goes to fucking Thai. Where'd she go? She went to Puerto Rico or something, get her butt done. I can't remember where it was. She comes back and she gets like a bubble in her butt. She's not willing to accept the fact that she did put fat in her butt from her stomach, and that's what's causing, because you took something from one part of your body, put in another part of your body, and your body thinks it's a fucking germ or a disease, starts trying to kick it out. And yeah, I'm like, and she's bitching about it all the time. I'm like, that on top of everything else, I'm just like, I'm done. I ghost the shit out of her, and she every so often she'll run into me, she'll try to talk to me, but she hates my guts by this point, and understandably. I didn't ghost her. I didn't talk to her for maybe a week, and then she kind of got the message, and she texted me up being like, I don't think we should talk to each other more. And I'm like, hey, no worries. And that didn't go. Yes, makes sense why she doesn't talk to me. Now at this point, I'm going through quite a bit. I am going out and approaching all the time, and to be fair, it's hard to find guys that I can go out with that were on my level. To be fair, and I had very low standards for who I'd go out with at this time. If you guys actually knew me at this time, if you guys were in Vegas and you guys hit me up, I probably would have gone out with you guys. I probably would have been approaching with you. But the thing is that none of you guys were, which I'll get into that in a second too. So I'm out approaching every day, going hard, and lo and behold, I get a random phone number call. I see a random number, and I'm thinking about it. Usually I don't answer this shit. Something about this told me that I should. It's a LA number. I'm like, maybe it's one of my boys from LA. Answer it. Hey man, what's up? It's Owen Cook. Owen Cook calls me. This is the first time ever I actually had a one-on-one call or talk with him. Never did I talk to him while like just one-on-one ever. And he tells me that he's been hearing about my stuff. He saw my videos that I talked about him. He said, thank you for that shit. And he said, I'm doing some good shit. And he's hyping me up. We're talking for a while. And he lays this on me. He says, yo, man, all right, look, the guys, there's going to be this thing coming along, okay? They're going to start canceling a lot of people, all right? I know you've seen it in the news where, like, they cancel Julie and whatnot. We can't do this much longer, all right? You need to start taking down your infield videos. You need to take down your infield videos now. I'm like, wait, what? I got to take down my infield videos? He's like, look, man, the world's changing, all right? Look, you can't be teaching this shit like that, blah, blah, blah. You can't even tell your fans about this. Can't tell because they won't understand because they're not part of this shit. They won't get it. Like, dude, if you fall, they'll forget about you next day. It's not even worth it telling them about this shit. Just do this, okay? Just take down your infield, okay? It's going to save you a lot of time. All right, if you need to you need to change lanes. Teach pickup, but don't teach pickup. Teach pickup in a way that doesn't sound like pickup, which is what he's doing now. He's still teaching you guys pickup. Owen Cook's still teaching pickup. He's just not teaching pickup, if that makes sense. He doesn't think that you guys would understand. You guys, honestly, to be fair, I get it. Audiences you guys don't know us. You guys don't know us. And, like, to be fair, like, it'll take one video where, like, somebody, like, shows proof, and you guys are like, never mind. I knew I figured he was maybe a scammer or something like that. Where I think, like, you guys are, like, best friends or some shit like that. I've seen it before. And I'll tell you guys about it in a quick second. I've seen, like, I get it. You guys don't know me. You guys are not my friends. The same way you guys don't know me. I'm not your friend. I'm just some guy in a fucking video on a YouTube channel. You guys don't know me personally. So I take his advice because this guy right here is my mentor. This is like the guy that I looked up to, the guy that I wanted to one day become and beat. This is the guy that I was like, that's who I'm going to fucking beat one day. And so that guy is telling me to do this shit, reaches out to me personally, tells me he hit up my old manager when I worked for RSD, asked for him for my number. He was going through fucking hoops to try to get a hold of me. And I was very blessed to be talking to him. And he's so smart. He's so smart, it actually pissed me off. So smart, so quick-witted. So fast. So I took his advice. I started taking my infield videos. And I tried to tell Bradicus to do it too. Bradicus didn't. You guys saw what happened with him. Love him. He's a cool guy. I can't say that we're really close, but I told him to take it down. We were like shooting infield videos. If you guys remember the video where I always post up where I'm fat and picking up those Spanish girls, that was right before this happened. That was just before he called me up. So I'm calling up Bradicus, tell him to take those videos. He's like, dude, he's overthinking it. That's never going to happen. We can do this shit forever. Canceled. He gets canceled. His channel gets taken the fuck down. But it wasn't for that reason either. I think Owen kind of blew it out of proportions. The reason Bradicus got taken down is because the fucker was like posting up girls in his bed, half naked. The reason that Street Attraction got taken down is because they put a girl moaning in the end of their video. The reason Squad and Casanova is one of my boys. He's cool. Squad and Casanova also posted a video up with a girl in his place, in his bed, blurring out the face. I think there was a rumor about him posting up with girls in his bed in his private course. So those three guys all taken down. Those are the only three pickup girls that got taken down. But here's the thing. Nobody knew that was happening because YouTube wasn't telling anybody why that was happening. So you know what happens? Everybody in the pickup community gone overnight. And just me by myself on a hill. By myself, looking at my YouTube channel, seeing the views drop because I took down all my big videos. So the algorithms punished me on top of this. So me taking down my big videos that were very edgy, the algorithm drops my channel through the floor, making me broke overnight. Making me so broke where I could barely afford rent. Everybody else around me is fucking falling off. All you guys, look, like the father to his son, I get it. It's not your fault because you guys are looking up to us to lead the way because this is what we do. If you guys saw the personal trainers saying it's now good, no longer good to go hit the gym, you guys want to do this instead, you guys, I would do the same thing. But I was like, fuck this shit. At first I thought about it for a while and I thought, like, is there something else I can do or I would do? And I'm like, no. I realized that if I did anything else, I'd be miserable. I would hate myself. I'd hate life. There's nothing that I could do other than this. This is the only thing that I love this much, at least currently. Maybe one day I'll find something else that I love this much, but there's nothing else that I love more than helping you guys out, that I love this industry. I love the fucking, dude, you get to do this for a living. I didn't care how much I got paid. I did this shit for free long enough, and I love doing it for free. I get paid to do it too. God, I'm so ungodly just gifted in this job, and I don't want to take it for granted. I got mad at everybody. I got mad at everybody else. I got so pissed off. I got pissed at you guys. But I especially got pissed at the other coaches. I felt abandoned. I'm like, you guys said that you guys are about this shit and you guys all take off like that. You guys just take the fuck off and you guys just like, everybody start deleting their channels, trying to like reestablish themselves other places. They come back 3 years later. They come back 3 fucking years later. Now it's cool to do this shit. I was like, fuck you guys. You guys weren't about this shit. You guys weren't about it then. You guys weren't about it now. You guys were never about this shit. You guys didn't give a fuck about this. And so to be fair, I still have a slight chip on my shoulder. I understand a little bit more, but at the time I felt absolutely betrayed by everybody. I was walking the streets of Vegas by myself. I had the hardest time finding anybody to even approach with. So I'm going hard all the time. And I was approaching a lot. Well, here's the part where, so at this point, I was hanging out with Poland. Poland was my roommate after the breakup. I moved in with him. Poland, though, is from Poland. And he travels a lot. He runs a business, so he's gone all the time. So I'm in this place by myself. I have no friends because I was into that relationship for a while. And also, too, the old friends of mine, 2 of them died, to be fair. So I guess that makes sense. And I was so depressed, I wasn't going out and talking to them. The only thing I had energy to do was go out and practice and work on the business and everything like that. And try to find an angle to come back with. So that, because I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a business guy. I'm a dating coach. That's my shit. I'm a dating coach. So that was the thing I was about. So anyways, this is the part where people start seeking me out. So people are hearing about this wild boy in Vegas. Like, at this point, I'm pretty popular in Vegas. You guys can ask about me to anybody. I go by different names out here, but people are searching for me. A couple of them find me. The first guy is Teddy. Let me tell you a bit about Teddy. So Teddy reaches out to Poland. He says, "Hey, I heard about this boy named Denton. I want to meet him. Can I meet up with you guys?" And this guy was trying to get a hold of me, but I was going through his depression. I didn't have the energy to hit him up. And by the way, Teddy's not his real name, so don't try to find him. It's not his real name. None of these guys' real names. I'm not gonna put the real names out there because most of you guys are dope. There's a few of you fuckers who are gonna be weird about this. So his name's Ted. We're gonna call him Teddy. Now, Teddy meets me in a hookah lounge. Fucking said the name. God damn it. So Poland meets me at a hookah lounge, and here comes Teddy. Teddy's excited to meet me, and Teddy is this 6'2" teddy bear of a man. He's an ex-Marine Corps giant. Now, he got hit by shrapnel, so he gained some weight. Got a little bit overweight, but he used to be a gangster back in the day. Now, there's another thing you need to know about Teddy. Teddy has extremely good social circle game. Not only is his cold approach fucking fire, he worked with Matador and Mystery. He was one of their coaches. He also was quick-witted, smart, fast-talking, good energy, and incredible at social circle game. And now what I mean by credible, he was a celebrity host. Now I'm gonna tell you guys some stories about this guy. So you remember I mentioned some famous characters before? 2/3 of those guys I actually met through this guy. 2/3 of them I met through this guy. So I think on some level, Teddy liked me a lot because I was kind of like, I was very good with girls, and a lot of the guys in Vegas like me for that reason. They're friends with me. There's a good chance of them getting laid. Like, it makes sense. I'm known for this shit. This is my job. My job is getting guys laid. So get around that guy. You hear about this guy who's like fucking ungodly good at this shit. Find him. Go talk to him. And so I started getting sought out, and so he found me. I'll tell you about a few stories actually, because I don't know when most of these stories happened, because this was all a blur, and I tried to figure out when all this shit happened. So I'm just gonna jump into it. So he started inviting me to so we go out every day, and he'd help me approaching, and I had so he worked with Matador, so he was also really good at game too. He also had clients. He had clients, and he was pretty good with them. He was good at getting them results, and so sometimes we co-coach boot camps, come on boot camps with me. He'd invite me to parties. He'd invite me out to these celebrity parties. Now, this is where it gets wild. He also oftentimes became the big host of the different clubs. So if you guys ever heard of the Palms before it went down, is the biggest club out here. He started running that because he was friends with very specific people that I've met and hung out with. So the first guy that we hung out with was Logan fucking Paul. So I'll tell you guys how we met him. So Teddy was incredibly good with girls, to be fair. He actually kept up with me. So again, fat guy. Well, a lot of you guys like looks are what matters. Like Teddy's overweight. Teddy's overweight. None of my friends really what you guys would assume a guy who's this good with girls would look like. And that's why I always push to you guys that it's not that big a fucking deal if you guys got game. Not even game, but yeah, game. Smoothness. I hate because all the guys that say this shit never have game. The people that always refer to this way are always the worst with girls. But the guys who are the best never refer to it as this. They actually never even talk about it. It's not something that's in their head. A lot of guys that are good with girls, they just believe they're sexy. They believe they're fucking sexy. Which is a little bit of a mindfuck for me. It's... Anyways, besides the point. So how did I meet Logan Paul? There's been so many wild times with him. He was friends with the Jenners. He was friends with Justin Bieber. He was friends with some rappers and stuff like that. I met King Bach there. This was during the height of Vine. I met a bunch of Viners. Met some girl named Gigi who drove this fucking... I can't remember what this girl did. She was a TikToker. Met a very pretty girl. I picked her up, but I never hung out there. We never really ended up meeting up afterwards. I actually met this famous... I can't remember what his channel's called, but this famous female dating coach. He has like 1 million subscribers. So cool. I love this guy. He's actually... I feel bad. Tom Flynn, sick as fuck. I love that guy. Big YouTuber, fucking cool as all hell. Very cool guy. Again, another guy that want to hang around with me because, you know, he's good with girls. You know, so, yeah, me, Tom Flynn, and Teddy go to this party, and we meet Logan Paul. Logan Paul sees me, goes, "What's up, man? I've been watching YouTube channel, blah, blah, blah. You have great camera presence." And in retrospect, if he said that shit, because my camera presence was trash at the time, definitely did not watch my channel, and I think he's blowing smoke with my ass. In retrospect, all the shit that me and Logan Paul did, and when I look back on it, I was kind of starstruck, but when I look back on it, the guy was very disingenuous, extremely disingenuous, and I kind of get why he's getting all this flack nowadays. He's fake as fuck. We go to this party, and then we go to the Palms. We're at a table, and King Bach's there, some famous producer, a bunch of famous girls and guys and Viners and YouTubers and shit like that. And Logan Paul goes and gambles, and Teddy brings me out with him because Teddy is his biggest promoter. And so we're hanging out with him, he's gambling, he's got some girl on his shoulders trying to hang out with him while Logan's kind of like being disingenuous and laughing to do some dumb shit. And yeah, and while he was dating the girl, I think he's had a girlfriend at the time too, but this girl was all over him. So anyways, they decide they want to go to the penthouse suite, and we're going to go party over there. So they have a limo out front. We start walking. Well, this guy walks up with a phone like this, and he walks up to Logan. He goes, "Hey, what's up, Logan?" And Logan's like, "Yo, what's up, man?" And the guy goes, "What's it like to be the guy that got canceled for the Suicide Forest?" Logan Paul loses it, snatches the guy's phone up. Big Mike gets pissed. Teddy sees what's going on. Teddy jumps on Big Mike because Teddy's a big guy, holds Big Mike back while this little guy is trying to get the fuck away, also while trying to get his phone back because Big Mike was going to fuck him up. He's a little guy. And they were totally in the wrong. They should have let this shit go. The guy was drunk or doing drugs or something, and he was hyped up. Logan Paul takes off with his phone. They all jump in the limo, take off. Me and Teddy stay behind because Teddy's now trying to smooth everything over with the cops and everything like that because this guy's throwing a storm. I thought this guy was on drugs from what he told me, but to be fair, Logan Paul's a bit spoiled, dude. The boy's a spoiled brat, dude. After everything he said, he told me he's going to put me on his YouTube channel. He told me that he was going to bring 3 coaches on. Me, my boy C-Mao, who's another dating coach, underground dating coach in LA. He does Social Circle. And then Tom Flynn. We were all 3 of us are going to be on his YouTube channel. We're going to teach him how to pick up girls. And then he's going to try to beat Logan Paul. And then all the girls are going to... This is the script he was going to give. By the way, a lot of these guys, they do script their videos. Like, you guys think they're all, like, real? No, dude, these guys actually do script their videos. I didn't know that at the time. I thought it was like, wow, this is real? No, they script their videos a lot, dude. A lot of these guys, it's more controlled. So, at first, they're all going to recognize that I'm Logan Paul. And they're just going to recognize me immediately because I'm famous. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, whatever. Yeah, put me on. I'm cool with this. Then he goes, but then I'm going to put on an old man mask, and you guys are going to coach me, give me advice. And then as an old man, I'm going to pick up a girl. I'm like, fuck it, why not? So I'm expecting this, and this guy says he's gonna come out there, and then it turns out that he has to now fly somewhere else, and he has to fly somewhere else. So this guy's like a group of like 15 guys, like 15 handlers that follow his ass around everywhere, tell him what to do and shit like that, and also support him and run all the fucking background shit, the editing and the producing and the getting events and running content and shit like that, finding new ideas, getting them hooked up with like it's an orchestra of different shit. This guy's like fucking has his entire life run by different people. So lo and behold, as you guys can obviously tell now, never got on it. He never did it, and he fell off the map, and I was cool. That was whatever. But then another thing Teddy put me on for. So at this point, Palms eventually falls apart. They fucked over Marshmallow, the DJ, and DJ was like suing the place for it. The club's called Chaos, suing it. So place falling apart. Teddy needs a new gig. It turns out though that MTV is doing a TV show. Went dark. He's doing a TV show. And Teddy's like, yo, Denton, come with me. And I'm like, all right, cool, why not? So we go to this thing. I didn't know it was a TV show at the time. He just told me to show up. All my friends always told me just show up to this shit. I have no idea what's going on. Hey, just come to this party. Doesn't tell me there's a fucking celebrity there or something, like he wants to meet somebody. Well, the same guy that hired the Jersey Shore crew apparently is there. And he's a producer. He's looking for a new TV show in Vegas. And the TV show is going to be, there was this group of girls that were on this TV show. I still don't even know what the TV show was. I got showed some banners for it or something like that. I don't give a fuck enough to look up some reality TV show thing. But it's a bunch of girls, and they seem very like trashy. They're part of a TV show. They did pretty well. And then they're going to move them now to Vegas. And the idea is they're going to move them into a house, a big mansion. And then they're going to bring an equal amount of guys from Las Vegas with crazy lives. Promoters, hosts, strip club promoters, and a dating coach, and maybe a celebrity host. And I didn't know this. So Teddy brings up the fact, so they're hitting up Teddy being like, you know everybody in Vegas, who's a guy that would be cool in the show? He's like, let me think. There's this dating coach. His name's Denton. He's a legend. Maybe you guys can meet up with them. And they go, sure. Well, I go to this party in the rooftop at the Rio. And I'm hanging out with the guys. So he brings this beautiful girl with him that apparently is also working with him. And then he's there. And we're talking stuff. He's a nice guy. He's sweet. He's cool. Talks about Rodney a little bit and how Ronnie was like talking about how he tell me stories about the fucking the cast of the Jersey Shore. Anyways, Teddy turns to me and goes, hey, talk some girls. I'm like, okay. So I turn to my right. I start talking to this girl. I grab her phone number, which we know phone number is not a big deal. Normies don't, though. Normies think it's like, oh my God, you just picked up this girl like that. A phone number is not getting the girl. A phone number is just a phone number. For anybody who's not been gaming, for those of you guys who don't approach, I swear to God, if you're not approaching after watching my channel, after watching this video this far in, I swear to fucking God, you guys are killing me over here, man. The amount of fucking guys watching my channel are not approaching, I swear to fucking God. Making excuses. Oh, fuck, you guys piss me off. It's not COVID. It's not the pickup apocalypse anymore, okay? It's okay to approach now, okay? Stop fucking looking for the outside world to give you permission to do shit that's good for you. Anyway, so I get this girl's number. He's floored. He's like, oh my God, you're so great. And I'm like, yeah, I'm great. Yeah, phone number. But he's now convinced that I'm fucking great at this shit. I'm good with it. So he starts putting me through interviews. So they invite me to this nice place where they rented. They have a nice camera set up. They sit me in front of the camera and they start telling me like, all right, look, we're going to send this to our producers in LA. They're going to like, there's a casting system. So we're going to cast you. So here's our vision for you. You're going to be the bad boy with the heart of gold. You're going to be drinking, dancing on tables, shit like that. You're trying to be a good guy, but really you're a bad boy. And I'm like, but I'm not that. And Teddy's off to my right. He goes, yeah, he is. He is that guy. And I'm like, no. No, but Teddy, I did tell him I wasn't that guy. I didn't feel like that guy. Teddy said that I was. I didn't really feel like that guy. Not that I was trying to talk my way out of the role. I was trying to be honest. I didn't feel like I was that guy. I'm not that kind of person, but that's the guy they want to be. And they coach you up to be a certain way. So they get me in front of the camera. I'm talking to the camera, like trying to explain who I am. And I am so glad that I never got on this TV show and this TV show never happened because it was so embarrassing. Up until about a year ago, I was still curling my toes thinking about the fucking interview. Like, oh, somebody's holding on to that fucking video of me talking to this fucking TV show and pandering, trying to get on the fucking thing. I'm like, Oh my lord. It explains why, in retrospect, why I still watch this TV, like reality TV shows sometimes, and they are so cringy at the beginning because they coach you up and you feel a lot of pressure. And I realized, I thought if I could get on this TV show after like the business is having a hard time right now, I'm doing that great. I'm trying to figure out the YouTube thing, I'm trying to get more views. If I get on this TV show though, I can make it finally. I can finally make it to where I can fucking get back to making money again. And I could game on a live TV show and I can show people I know what I'm talking about. But then it's like, but I realized in retrospect that if I got on it, it'd be so fucking embarrassing. And it's glad it never happened. Well, they take the videos, they send them out to LA. Now they find out that there's 2 parts left, and there's 3 contestants that are left over. Me, Teddy, and some other guy that I don't know, some promoter. Well, we're waiting. Me and Teddy are like, it's gonna be you. No, it's gonna be you, bro. No, it's gonna be you. No. It turns out they fucking canceled the show. Instead, they turned into DJ Pauly being a DJ, where he's like, it's to set off his DJ career. And so now that's why DJ Pauly has a DJ career, because they fucking canceled my ass. So you want to ask why DJ Pauly now is a DJ after being a fucking like greaser, like fucking Jersey Shore, GTA, Gym Tan Laundry type guy? It's because they canceled me on MTV. They didn't give me the TV show because I didn't good enough on camera. So thank you. I'm to blame for the fact that the fucking industry of DJs is so trash nowadays. So you're welcome, guys. Fucking A. Very lucky I didn't get on that show, though. Very lucky, honestly. Now, at this point, I'm actually going to talk about a little bit about Poland. Now, during this time period, Poland is going through some wild changes. So before, when I first moved in the house, I always had the better game than Poland. I was one of the best coaches in the immersion crew, and I had the best results. I also had pretty good coaching. I even though now I'm like a way fucking better coach, I would never, if there was a guy that had comparable coaching to me, I would never tell somebody to go get a coaching from them. I think I was trash, honestly, but I was good in comparison to most, and honestly, a lot of people. But nothing like I am now. I'm a way better coach. I'm a lot better at this shit. I'm very embarrassed by how I used to be. But you have to start from somewhere. I'm not proud of myself. So I'll put it that way. It's fun to talk about this shit now, but during this whole period of time, I was so depressed. I wasn't in a great headspace while this is all going down. Honestly, even though this is all happening around me, I didn't feel like I was worthy of any of this shit. I didn't feel like I was worthy of this stuff. And not to mention, dude, I'm trying to play like in the successful dating coach, and my business is just crumbling around me. After like being so depressed and having no energy and crying all the fucking time like a bitch. Poland is flying all over the fucking place. He's loving life, traveling, running businesses and shit like that. Poland, though, was still not as good with girls as me. Well, Poland actually hires RSD Derek, if you guys ever heard of him. They call him the Terminator of pickup for a fucking reason. This guy's massively fucking disagreeable. He's wild. I met him a couple times. He's nice to me. But I've also met him on boot camps where a client is fucking weird or this or that, and he doesn't like him. He could be a dick. He likes my ass. We're tight. He's very similar to Poland, actually, in energy. Now I'm saying this a lot. Poland doesn't like everybody. Poland does not talk to somebody he doesn't like, and so does Derek. Anyways, Poland flies to LA and hires RSD Derek for 6 fucking months of coaching. I don't hear from him for 6 months. Gone. Poland comes back, a fucking thug. Poland is putting me underneath his boot like a cockroach and just roasting me. It was hot girl, celebrity girl. Fucking like, he was like dating this, like, Zed's wife's sister, who was named Foxy, this DJ in Vegas, this decently popular, and then they were in love, and then he starts dating this porn star, and then it's just nonstop. Then he starts dating this fucking 10. And so he's not used to this newfound power. Like he was always good with girls, but this was something different. He was just like, dude, unreal. Now here's something you have to understand about Poland. Poland comes from a very harsh place. So if you guys don't, I know a lot of you guys watch my channel are Americans. You guys don't know much about the outside world. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be that way, but we don't get taught that the same way other countries do. We're very much centric on the States. Poland is a very fucked up place. Poland has been like the forefront of just so many war atrocities. And This is how Poland explains to me. So he's from what's called he's from actually not just Poland, but the war zone of Poland. It's a very rough place. He's told me some stories about that place. I'm not going to go into details. It's fucking nuts. It's a crazy place to be born in. It's something that, like, if you're an American, you bitch about being American, shut the fuck up. Like, honestly, you guys have no idea how good we have it. The only reason Poland even got lucky, Poland was poor as fuck. His mom loved him a lot. Bought him a laptop, not a laptop, an old-ass computer. And the computer wasn't that great. It could only work with, like, binary. But there are these poor fucking, like, bored kids in a country with nothing fucking to do other than, like, steal shit and, like, cut telephone wires for, like, the copper. And so, like, hey, this is kind of fun. Let's learn how to code. So him and his brother start learning how to code. And they become prodigy programmers. They start coding from the age of 10. And they become prodigy programmers by themselves, nobody else. By themselves, watching tutorials online. They smoke everybody. Poland is like this prodigy programmer, just wild fucking brains, very fucking smart. He's, man, so fucking smart. It's actually fucking annoying how smart he is. Like, I'm smart, but my friends are smarter, and sometimes that sucks. It's like being a genius at Stanford, where everybody else is genius. You're like, you feel normal, or you feel like stupid. You can be smart, but at Stanford, you be a smart person in the general populace, but then you're at Stanford, and everybody else, all the other professors and the people that work there are fucking geniuses, and you're the dumbest of the geniuses. It makes you still feel equally as stupid as if you were like at fucking Walmart and you're the dumbest person at Walmart. So, anyways, besides the point, smart as fuck. So that's where he comes from. He's a hard guy. He's talented. He's smart. He's a gangster. He's a thug. So, anyways, this thug of mine, he's flying around. He comes back for a while, fucks around, flies out. He only stays there for a day or two and flies somewhere else. And he's hanging out. We have this bum-ass fucking ghetto apartment that he stays in, so he can keep his visa in the States. And we live next door to this drug dealer. Looks like a fucking knockoff version of Zac Efron. He has this hot stripper girlfriend. Arthur decides to, like, start inviting her over, and they stay in the room, his room, for a long period of time, all the time. I'm thinking that they fucked. Arthur tells me they didn't. I'm not sure if I believe him. Anyways, he's causing issues. He keeps flying out, and the boyfriend, this drug dealer, who's honestly, I was a little bit scared of. I don't fuck with drug dealers. They have nothing to lose. And this guy has bodyguards standing outside his door. This guy was not, like, nothing to, like, this guy was, like, a little bit intimidating in terms of, like, just firepower. And anyways, we're hanging out on our stoop. We always hang out on our stoop. I'd always chill out there because I was so lonely. I just hang out there, and maybe I'd sit there, maybe, you know, make myself a little Jack on the Rocks or something like that, just hang out in front while I'm working, tapping away on my computer. And when Arthur was in town, he'd smoke his cigarettes, hang out with me. And this time we have a bunch of girls hanging out with us. It's him and me and a bunch of girls. And we're all laughing. I'm smoking some weed. We're chilling. And then his girlfriend, the drug dealer's girlfriend, comes and hangs out with us. And she's laughing. She's enjoying herself. She's having so much fun with us. Well, the boyfriend is kind of feeling something's going on. He's stupid, but he can sense that something's going on. Archer leaning back, joking. We're both in the pocket. We're having fun. And the drug dealer walks straight to Poland. And he's not smiling. He's straight-faced. We're laughing. And he's trying to, he's just standing there staring at Poland. And at some point, he goes, look at this. He tries to cut in the conversation. He goes, I bet you never been to fucking jail, huh? You never been in fucking jail. Poland takes a second. He doesn't even look at him. He takes a second. Have you ever been to the war zone of Poland? The drug dealer looks at him confused, goes, what? Do you know what they call serial killers where I'm from? They just call them killers. And he goes back to smoking. Now at this point, the guy shuts the fuck up. About maybe 15 seconds later, he doesn't say anything. He just turns around and walks away. End of conversation. Thug as fuck. I swear to God, Poland is a gangster. He's my boy. He's a gangster. He's a thug. And to be fair, if you guys ever saw him in person, you guys would never know this guy's like this. He does not look like this. It's the energy he exudes that makes him such a gangster. It's not his physicality. It's his energy. And that's what I always try to teach you guys, is the energy. And it's why this guy's such a badass. Gangster. You guys need to become something that is capable of being that way. You can't fake this shit sometimes. You guys have to become it. I'll get into that in a bit. This is a lesson that took me a long time to learn. I was still in the process of faking it till I make it, and also learning how to just honestly be myself finally. I was like learning how to just be authentic with people and stop trying so hard. And it was a long lesson. Long lesson, just assume that people might possibly like me because I'm just fucking cool. Long lesson. Okay, for this next part, this is where things start getting a bit hairy and when things really start hitting the fan. So I'm actually going to talk about it on this camera over here. So the next thing you guys see of me is probably hopefully going to be in higher def. If not, then the camera got fucked up again. Don't blame me. Blame Sony. They were the ones that made the fucking camera. But yeah. Okay, look. You guys probably realized by now that very clearly I did not shoot on this camera. Let me explain. This upcoming part honestly is cake to tell you guys in comparison to what is to come. That part honestly is the reason why this video is taking me so long. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so fucking embarrassed. I'm very embarrassed about the person I was at this time, honestly, in comparison to who I've become. I'm glad that I changed, and I'm glad that I'm somebody different. But the part that's to come is why I'm actually having an issue telling you guys about this. This entire story is very I didn't like it. Not fuck, it sucked. But there's still some highlight reels to come. I'm realizing there's still a lot of cool shit. And this part's not that bad. It's not that bad in comparison to what's about to happen. So we'll get into some fun shit first, okay? But I'll give you a little bit of downs. So if you guys can't remember, there was this thing called COVID that happened. And pickup apocalypse. Everybody quits. Everybody's gone for the game. Everybody gives up. Not everybody, though. There's still a few out there here and there. There's still some guys, gaming. Majority are gone. Majority giving up. It's as if, it was like a mass extinction event. It's like, it wasn't the comet that killed the dinosaurs. It was the ash cloud that followed. Yes, a lot of fucking dinosaurs died, but the ash cloud's what killed them ultimately. This is what killed the pickup community ultimately. And I'm surprised and I'm so happy to have it back. I don't think any of these guys are about this shit. But I don't know. Not everybody can be as obsessed with this shit as a fucking weirdo like me and AG. So I get it. I'm not fucking upset, but when shit's easy, I see who's about this shit now. I know who's about this shit. But anyways, COVID happens. It was very hard enough to find a fucking wing that wasn't not completely just weird. No offense, but weird. I mean, I'd never say that shit. But to be fair, actually, you guys actually show up on boot camps are not as bad as any of these guys. You guys are a high quality audience. I'm so proud of the audience I have. I honestly wish you guys would go out more. Honestly, at this point now, now that during COVID, I would understand if you guys don't approach. If you guys don't approach during COVID or the pickup apocalypse, I get it. That I understand. But there's nothing holding you back now. So that being said, the audience, the competition that already left because Owen, now everybody was gone. Everybody's gone. And I mean, not just everybody. Vegas was dead. Vegas was fucking just empty. And yet I was like, I'm gonna keep doing this shit. Not just was I alone. Not just was nobody going out. Not just all this shit. I was like, I'm gonna keep going. So they fucking wild time. I felt abandoned. I felt alone. I saw everybody else as a bunch of posers, and I felt betrayed by you guys, honestly. I'm sorry. I was in a place at the time, but I felt very betrayed. I realized that the people that I thought that were just as into this as I was weren't ride or dies. They weren't about this shit like me. And I get it. You guys have your own purposes. You guys have your own shit. I didn't get that at the time. To me, I'm like, if you're not doing the shit like I am, you're a fucking loser. And that's how I thought at the time. Now I get it. But I was young. And it's like, if you're a doctor, you're gonna think being a doctor is the greatest thing ever. And you're gonna see everything through the lens of a doctor. I thought that pickup was the answer to everything, in a way, for everybody's problems. Whatever problem you had, I learned better. And I'll get into that later. I am also, again, struggling harder than even before. I'm just falling so far. And so the drug dealer ends up moving out. Him and the stripper break up. Teddy moves next door during this whole situation. And I'm super lonely, trying to hang out with him more. But now he's traveling. He's gone. He's not even in town anymore either. So now it's just me by myself. There was nobody going out. There was not only were there not was there just was it just, most of the guys are weird? No, now it's like there's nobody, me by myself, going out, trying to find places. And then when they start letting people out wearing the mask and me approaching and me like, they eventually moved to the mask and shit like that. We're all walking around, people wearing masks. I'm still approaching people. Still fucking approaching people. Still running boot camps. Still taking out people off me, trying to explain that you can approach girls with a mask as long as you don't treat it like a fucking big deal. And if somebody does freak out, cool. You just let it happen. It's like whatever. But really, not too many people freaked out at me. I was very confident that I did have 2 people that were fucking weird. I had these Asian girls that were yelling at me about white privilege, and I was approaching them because of white privilege, and I thought it was okay even with masks. It was a weird situation. There were groups and sects of people that were just followers. They're just mad at me because I'm a confident white guy. I'm the patriarchy. I'm like oppressing all of them, I guess, because nobody can think for them fucking themselves. Anyways, but yeah, dude, it was fucking. I still crushed it, but I was alone. The occasional client would come, but for the most part, it was like coaching calls. I started that group. I started this private group of like a bunch of guys that I coached personally during this time period, and just to try to make a little extra money. I was so fucking broke. So yeah. Here's where things kind of get interesting. So my TikTok blows up. My TikTok starts getting a lot of views, and even so often, some people are recognizing me from my TikTok. I'm like, oh shit, that's crazy. That's so nuts. I had a video, so I started posting TikToks because I was studying a lot of Gary Vee, and he mentions organic reach, and he said you gotta get on this TikTok shit. I started getting on this TikTok shit, and here's the thing about you guys. You guys are, man, your guys' comment section, the comment section of you guys on YouTube is so much better than the comment section on TikTok. It's a bunch of people people want fast content. They don't have enough time to get to know me on a personal level like you guys understand me, or understand like the confidence I have in this shit or the authenticity, because they're only looking at a video for like fucking like 10 seconds or like 10 to 60 seconds, and it's like that's not enough time to get to trust me or understand that you can do this too. Like trust me enough to do something that nobody else is fucking doing. Again, not everybody can win. Like it's for that. If everybody's doing pickup, it'd be so much harder. It's like thank God that those the other 99% of guys just don't fucking do this, because if they did, the amount of ungodly effort. But it's not that hard to actually get good at this. It's actually a lot of fun too when you start doing this. My TikTok started getting a lot more views. I was actually honestly, because when this happened, I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know how bad COVID was. Everybody thought it was the worst thing ever, and it's a very pariah effect. And again, I'm by myself. I was going nuts. Not only am I by myself, nobody's in Vegas even, and I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do? So I drive fucking 9 hours, and I stayed with my parents during this whole thing until they allowed people to go outside again. Fucking wild time. So you could always kind of fill the emptiness, like that feeling of emptiness inside with like more people. But it taught me to finally it was the first step in me learning how to be okay being alone. Like, and not needing people, and being happy with just me, and not needing to fill like this bottomless pit with more shit, more sex, more views, and just people laughing at my jokes or something like that, or people like me being able to go out and socialize. And so I'm like, I had to learn how to be okay with me. It was the first step. Honestly, I was not good at, I was still not okay after this with being by myself as much, or being happy with just me and believing in me. I still didn't believe in myself. I still had imposter syndrome even after all this shit. I was still not believing that I had a feeling I was a good coach, but I didn't truly believe it. And even when I talked to clients on the phone, I'd be like, 80% chance of this, blah, 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 75% chance of that. And so I'd be like, this is what's going on. This is the answer. Because I was like, look, me saying this is most likely sure, but when you say that to one of you guys would be like, oh, he's only like 75% sure. Then I'm not going to fucking do the thing he told me, because there's a 25% chance I don't have to do that shit. And then I'm just wasting my time. It's like, so I got to be certain about certain things, because it's good for you guys. Because then you guys are going to fucking do what I tell you guys to do. Stop making excuses. Ooh. You guys are killing me over here. So there's this guy named Steven Credit. And this caused a whole lot of drama, a whole lot of fucking drama. This guy does not like me. Probably doesn't remember me anymore. Thank God, fingers crossed. But we were doing a photo shoot because I'm trying to figure out how to do dating apps because I wanted to figure this shit out, especially with COVID happening. And COVID, like, you know, can't game as much and there's not as many people in Vegas. I will say is that winter was so fucking busy because people are just fed up and they just want to get out. And so all the people that were not going out during like the whole like quarantine, there's a group of people that didn't give a fuck and they're like, well, where can I go if I don't give a fuck about this? We can go to Vegas. And so those people started to come out here and got swamped with people. And it's actually like the next 2 winters, it was like that. Never seen that where Vegas is that fucking busy during winter. It's always good in Vegas. There's nowhere in the world that's as good for a game as here. But, you know, Vegas is, I mean, like, if you come here in Vegas, any of you guys that are outside of here, in any other city, you guys come here, you guys will be like, oh my God, this club is so insane. You guys come here on the slowest day of the year, you guys are still going to think it's fucking insane. Vegas locals, though, we're spoiled. We're spoiled as fuck. Especially my wings. Fucking always have to call them out for this shit. So yeah, so we're taking a photo shoot. And I see these beautiful fucking girls. Like, I mean, like, top tier, like, not just models, but like Instagram model, fucking like perfect and cute and like kind of unique looking, not like this like fucking model look that these girls have with their androgynous or just very boring looking. No, these girls were just like stunning. So I approach them obviously and I pull them in and we start doing a photo shoot with them. Teddy starts bragging about me. He's like, check out his TikTok. Yeah. I'm like, thinking it's cool at the time, not understanding that shit doesn't really matter with game and you can't brag your way into a girl's pants. It's not going to happen. He's the kind of guy that is going to brag. Usually doesn't work. Did for me today, though. So I was very in a good headspace. I was having a lot of fucking fun. So I was pretty in the pocket by the time I approached the girls. So we started doing a photo shoot. The girls start getting raunchy. We start getting wild. Start drinking, having fun. I make out with this girl. And she is honestly the most beautiful of the group. Well, I'm making out with her. And then there's another girl. This girl is like apparently getting a little jealous about the fact that I'm talking to her. And so they start competing over me, trying to get my attention, trying to get me to talk to them. And I'm not paying attention because this one girl saying like, I'm kind of like, I'm just being stupid. I'm like, she said she just wants to be friends. Ugh. Like not knowing like, you know, this is obviously a fucking game. Now, let me explain how this has to do with Steven Credit. Steven Credit is, if you guys don't know, he's a YouTuber. He teaches people how to make money off credit cards. Teaches people how to make money off credit cards. And he has this strategy about getting women. So some people game, some people do social circle game. Some people try to buy their way into pussy without buying hookers. So this guy gets a mansion out here in Vegas, on Las Vegas Lake, a very expensive area. And then what he starts doing is hitting up Instagram models, saying he's going to pay them. They're going to live in a mansion. They're going to go to parties. And they're going to do all this shit. And they're his assistants. And they get put on his resume that they're like assistants to this famous guy. And now, surprisingly, all the girls are young and very hot. Young and very hot. And yeah, he always in the pool, always taking pictures with them. He's very aggressive about trying to fuck them. Very aggressive about trying to fuck them. And sometimes succeeds. I mean, like, they're living with the fucking guy now. He moves them in, gets them lockers and shit. Like, they're fucking at, like, in a dorm or something like that. It's a strategy some of the fucking, like, more creepy rich guys out here in Vegas do. Hire people to do this, maybe do something like porn on the side, and try to slowly make the girls want to do that shit with you. Take them out at parties, be very dominant with them, make them follow your lead. Be like, you better, like, every morning you're going to come here at exactly 8 a.m. and you're going to have this drink made like this. And he'll be oftentimes naked in his bed, maybe with another girl. And over time, then he takes the weekends off, goes fucking nuts. And the girls, like, end up fucking him during these parties. Because he's the leader. He's leading them. It's like dominance. He's the only guy there. He's not, like, over here inviting, like, a bunch of guys being like, hey, come hang out, boys. Like, you know, like one of us normal people. I'm going to invite my boys because they're fun. He's like, it's competition. So let me fast forward. Make out with that girl. I end up having sex with the other girl. We end up actually going to the Las Vegas Lake thing so she could grab her fucking purse stuff because she knows that if she goes home with me, apparently Steven Credit was going to be very pissed about the situation and not let her come back. What the fuck? So, I don't know. The guy seems super creepy and apparently got really mad Teddy was kind of excited, maybe like adding him to his roster of celebrities. And because I did that shit, he was a little bit angry about it, because he's like, oh, I can't now connect with this guy. Which, in retrospect, Teddy, I don't know if you're watching this, man. Bro, come on. That was a long time ago, but come on. Fun story. I'm not going to get too much into it. I did date that girl for a while. Broke up with her. She ended up having a boyfriend in the military, son. And she was like, she would come out, fly out, she'd fly back, fly back. She was flying back and forth between me and this boyfriend of hers. I had no idea. But I tried to hit up the guy, and she got in his ear a bit. So then, yeah, he might even still be dating her. Damn. So anyways, everything's back up and running. All going great. Kind of. I mean, winters are great, but I'm still like by myself again. It's just me and pretty much Teddy. And Teddy's always flying around doing his celebrity shit. And so it's mainly me going out, and I'm desperate for wings. And so I have this group running, and one of the guys in this group, his moniker was AG. I didn't know much about him. He just got in the group. He's like, hey, I'm actually flying to Vegas. Isn't that crazy that I joined your group and I'm flying to Vegas? So, yeah, I'm on to you, Avery. All right, I'm on to your ass, okay? I got you. Got you on lock. Smart motherfucker. So his channel wasn't that big at the time, but he meets up with me. And we're talking to people. We're getting social. We're approaching girls, stuff like that. I'm starting to notice this guy is a lot better than most guys I think I've seen ever. And I don't see guys that are on his level. That's crazy. Wow, it's crazy he's so good at this. Huh. All right, cool. And we're getting the pocket. And we end up meeting these two girls. And he jumped on a fucking grenade for me on this. It was this big girl and this very attractive girl, which here's a big... if you guys are wondering... All right, this is actually something I tell clients all the time. It's one of my favorite things to point out to a client. If there's two girls in an interaction and they look very similar, except one is big and the other one's like skinny and hot, maybe even dressing like very provocatively or attention seeking. Usually in narcissist codependent relationships, usually human magnet syndrome, the fat girl is like the feed to the narcissist, and the narcissist can't hang out with anybody, but she's so in love with herself. She finds somebody that looks like her, but not as hot as her. So then, and it's a gross relationship. I dated a girl that was in that one of those things, and it was so disgusting on both sides. Both of those people were so fucked up. Yeah, so we start walking. So me and Avery were walking up the street, and we started a roving party with us. Like, we started an army of people. And most people on the strip know me. And so I take them all to my bar where everybody there likes me. Like, everybody there in that area, it's in front of the Horseshoe. Everybody there likes me. Like, a lot of people know me. And I have, like, really great friends. They always have my back. So I'm like, I'm going to look so cool. Fucking taking them to this place where all these people treat me so well. And she starts getting hit on by these two Italian guys. And I'm very, like, hands off. I don't know. I was having so much fucking fun. And AG turns to me and goes, hey, those guys are going to take the girls. I'm like, no, dude, they're cool. They can come with us. We're going to go throw a party at her place. And so that's how I think. And so I start being like this. The guys are like, who's so sorry? And I'm like, dude, don't fucking worry about it. You can have her. And she looks at me like, what? He goes, no, you can have her. And I'm like, now we start arguing about who's like being like, you're cool. And now she's looking at me like, what the fuck? So we get in her apartment, and it's loud as fuck. We're blasting music. People are jumping on the beds and shit. People are sitting around. Actually, I don't think it was that wild. It was not that wild, but it was decently wild. I'm gonna hype it up way too much. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that big, but it was pretty like popular. I mean, I've seen like worse parties. So we're having fun. The girl was kind of being, I don't know, by that point I was kind of like, take it or leave it. And I figured that AG's like my client, not knowing that he was a dating coach, because he never told me by this point. Fucking weirdo. He didn't tell me for a month that he was a dating coach. I had no fucking idea. The way I found out he was a dating coach was I'm suddenly on a podcast with, who's the guy? Playing with Fire? And I look in the bottom corner, and I'm like, that guy looks familiar. AG? Avery? I'm confused. I'm like, is it a client joining the call as like a thing? Blah, blah, blah. But then I read the name, and I'm like, actually, I recognize the name from Reddit. He's a dating coach. And like, I see him later in the day. He's by this point, he's living with me. I have him in my spare bedroom. And yeah. Fucking, I thought it was so cool he never told me that. He told me because he's afraid that I wouldn't want to be his friend or like coach him up or talk to him if I knew his dating coach. I'm not like that. I'm not competitive. I'm collaborative. I'm very much, I want all of us to win. That's why I always put up other dating coaches in my shit. Because I'm like, that's my boy. He's helping you guys out. If he's helping you guys out, I have no problem with him. And I think that's also where a lot of dating coaches kind of get the wrong idea about the shit. Either they're very business oriented or they're very like, I got to defeat all of my victors kind of energy. And I'm just not like that. I want all of us to win. So I always talk so good about other coaches, and I rarely talk negative about other coaches. I just don't. I want us all to win, dude. If they're helping you guys out, more the power. And if you guys feel their energy more and you guys like them, cool. Like if it's working, dude, if it's making you better, fuck yeah. Sometimes I get a little mad at these fuckers or giving bad advice. I'm very happy for the ones that give amazing advice. There's now becoming more than ever. But yeah, damn son, I'm trying to push her onto Avery. And because I tried to push her on Avery, which I kind of have a feeling this might happen, you know, because like the girls want the guy that doesn't want them. So I push her away on Avery, and I'm leaving. I'm getting tired. I'm just like, dude, fuck it. I want to go for a walk. So I walk out the door. She comes running after me, and that's where this video came from. We're outside the door. Avery is out there now too, thinking that I'm taking off. He's like, I'm here by myself. The girl I was macking with is now gone too. Blah blah blah. Fuck. The fat girl ended up actually fucking the two Italian guys in the bathroom. She had a boyfriend. It was her birthday. She was saying that like I kind of egged it on, not that part, but her boyfriend. She didn't sound like she actually cared about her boyfriend, and so I was like, look, do the good thing that's good for you and break up with them. You're gonna be so much more happy. Don't settle for anybody. And so as I'm saying this now, I'm telling her this shit, putting this shit in her head. There's these two attractive Italian guys that now are one attractive blonde girl like gone. So while we're all arguing, some like people started leaving shit, like, well, not arguing, while me and Avery were in with this girl in the hallway, people start leaving. So there's 3 people left, and they have sex. So she was really fucked about this too. I'll tell you about it in a second. So get in her room. I end up taking her room, and she kicks the girl out. She's crying about this because I cheated on my boyfriend. Kicks her out into the hallway. So I didn't know this. So she could have sex with me. Afterwards, I open the door and I see her curled on the ground crying. Codependent narcissistic relationship. This shit with women is fucking so evil. Oh my God. This bitch was like, fuck. Dude, any other girl in the right mind would have been like, hey, I'm sorry, look, give me a second, my friend here. How about you go home? Like, would have kicked me out because her friend's fucking crying. Kick me out. Dude, I get that. I understand it. Like, your friend's in turmoil. Fucking toxic bitches. I'll put it this way, though. With Avery's YouTube and marketing skills and my coaching and I say more my game and like my obsession with this shit, and he was just as equally as obsessed, and it was so hard. I can't talk about, nobody believed in this shit anymore. Like after COVID, people were like, it was like everybody got told at the same time, except like that Santa Claus wasn't real and was fake, and I was the only kid that still believed in Santa Claus. I felt like a dumbass, like I was gonna like that I was an idiot, because everybody's telling me this shit, you can't get good with girls, you can't improve. I'm like, so it was and I'm trying to I'm like, dude, I see it in front of me. Nobody believes this. Am I wrong? And I got gaslit by society in a way. I started getting gaslit. I'm like, dude, I know, I see it, but it's like, and I see how this works. I see this working for people and the clients. And I'm like, but it's not real. It's fucking weird. So, but I found somebody else that actually believes shit like I did still. And it was also just as equally as obsessed with me. He's so smart too. And he kept up with me. He didn't like fucking zone out. I could talk to him about deep shit and he loved it. He was a writer too. I'm a writer. We both have creative minds. Very similar in personality, honestly. I think he's more, he naturally has one, we have 2 different things though that are slightly different. The one thing in our personality is that he is amazing with boundaries, very dominant, more disagreeable than I am on average. I'm more agreeable. He taught me a lot about boundaries. Great friend. This is honestly one of my best friends, and there's a reason for it. This guy's saved me. And I'll talk about that later. But I'll put it this way. Between his skills and my skills, we melded really well together. And we're fucking unstoppable.
You're unbelievable.
So we weren't perfect. But we both worked synergistically so well together that we started getting traction. And people started listening to us again. So as you can see, I took an entire day to think about this and to kind of sleep on how I wanted to end this video. I thought about telling you some stories about the Las Vegas Lost Boys. I sat down and I wrote down a bunch of our stories, different things that happened to us. And I realized that this was a very big part of my life, and it was pretty fucking wild and very exciting. It was a very crazy time. And I thought it'd be a fun story to really flesh out. And if I tell it here at the end of this video, after this video being an hour long, then you guys won't get the full experience of it. So I decided to save that for the second part of this video, for part 4, my Not Too Smooth Journey part 4. And I'm gonna bring that to you guys. It's the story of how I came to my first, to where I felt like I had a family, to where I felt like I had friends that had my back, where I had a crew, a gang of guys that were on the same purpose and path, who loved me and respected me. And then how I lost their respect and gained it back again. It's going to be a fun story. There's a lot of crazy shit that happens. This next part is even crazier than the last. So I hope this is something that you guys liked. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys do, let me know in the comment section below. And if you guys are looking for coaching, you guys can meet me in person, or you can get some coaching from this guy right here. Text me at 702-841-9909. Let me know that you're interested in coaching. Just text me coach, and I'll get back to you. We'll figure out a time to jump on a call and figure out what's good for you. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And with that being said, peace.
Got him in range and I come in a rover. Running they mouth and I'm running them over. Wait till I fucking approach you. Look at my dad like your son is a soldier. Don't nobody got it like me, man. I got him on the ropes to Muhammad Ali like. None of y'all hot as I be, dog. You ain't on my level.